Hi folks, this is All the Fruit, and here we have Raphael Maier, one of the most renowned Passiflora breeders, well, in Germany or maybe in the world. And this is his experimental plantation in Alsace in France. And since I don't know almost anything about passion fruits, he will explain basically everything to us.
Yeah, hello. So there are around 700 different species of passion fruit or passiflora in the world. Most of them are tropical or subtropical, like the typical Passiflora edulis, so the purple passion fruit you can find in your supermarket. But there are also a few cold hardy ones. So my goal is trying to find all the cold hardy ones, combining them and creating new, really good hardy passion fruit. One of the best species for this is what we can see here, Passiflora incarnata. So Passiflora incarnata is originally from North America, so from the US. You can see here some fruits are forming, and here
They are really
down
huge.
there you can see a little bit more.
Wow, that's not a little bit, that's a huge harvest.
Yeah, so this is a good selection. So that's a plant in the 4th generation, and I've been selecting for big fruits, lots of fruits, taste, earlier ripening, and a lot of other things. So here we see the fruit, it's green. Sometimes when it's completely ripe, it's a little bit light green, so you can see the difference in color. The long-term goal would be to have like a nice yellow fruit, but one thing after the other. And when you're opening it up, you can see inside
I already smell the maracuya-like flavor.
Yeah, so the flavor can change a lot depending on the different fruits. So like in apples, you can have a Granny Smith apple, which is very sour, or you can have a really sweet apple like a Fuji. Here the same, you can have really difference in sweetness, in acidity, in aroma. And so we are always trying to find the best ones. Afterwards we can of course also eat some of them. But before we eat them, I give them to our colleague who is happy to eat them and show you a little bit more. So
Let's just... Nice. This is like a moderately sweet to sweet maracuya, but with a nice pineapple flavor. Yeah, really good. It's not as sweet as the sweetest maracuya varieties, but sweeter than traditional ones. But the flavor is really exquisite. I like that a lot.
yeah, so here you'll see a few more. Here are a few other species. So this is the traditional hardy passion flower, Passiflora caerulea, the blue one. Many people know this one. Here's a fruit forming when they are completely ripe. They are orange. They can be eaten, but it's sweet, but really bland, not really tasty. But it's good ones are evergreen till -10, -15 degrees. But the fruit quality is not so good. But I use them to make new hybrids. Another one we see here, and we'll see even more of those, is, I just get the flower, that's Passiflora tucumanensis. So it's from the Tucumán region in Argentina. It produces small fruit. You have, for example, here some fruit forming. I've already collected some fruit. I'll show you the fruit and you'll see. So this is a ripe fruit of Passiflora tucumanensis, and you can get this off, open it up, and you see, so it's a little bit different. Also, smell before the whole one is, it's very aromatic but quite different. Depending on, in summer it's very fruity, in late fall it can be more like basil or pine aromas in there.
Yep, basil and pine. It's a little bit hard to smell them with quite strong wind right now, but yeah, basil and pine definitely.
Yeah. But in summer it's really like a fruit cocktail one, but later in autumn it's a little bit harder. But so this is also quite hardy, so till -6, -7 it's green, then it dies back, but the roots can withstand -20 and then regrow every year. Here you have something else. I'm working also a lot with Tetraploid hybrids. So normal passion flowers or passion fruit have diploid genome like we humans, but you can also have tetraploid plants. Those have like really darker green, bigger leaves, and also they are just really big plants. And this is a hybrid between Passiflora incarnata, so the hardy one from the US, and Passiflora cincinata, a plant which is really drought and heat resistant from South America, so it grows from Venezuela till Argentina. Really big area. And here you see the fruit. They are not ripe yet. When they are ripe, they'll have a little bit of red, and the rest is yellow. They have a really long shelf life, and they are kind of citrus flavor. Really interesting, really nice. Here you can see also a little bit more red. So sometimes they have a little bit more red on the side. But they are not ripe yet. So one of the problems is they take longer to ripen. But we'll see later on. So let's go on. Here is something else. I'm also working on annual passion fruit that can be grown. So if you're looking in here, oops, they are falling up. So most passion fruit fall down when they are ripe. That's how you know that they are ripe. So those are hybrids also between two annual species. And they grow like weeds, as you can see. Beautiful, nice flowers. And they are kind of like snack passion fruit. So you can see it in here. And I'll give it to try to my colleagues here. One here. And another one here to see how you like it or not.
Thank you. The flavor is not the best. I think one of the parents is Foetida, no?
Yeah, so one of the parents is Foetida or Vesicaria, depending on the taxonomy. But when you're eating them,
the taste is great.
Yeah.
Foetida means stinky.
But it's mainly the leaves which are stinky when you're rubbing them. But the fruit is really nice.
The fruit is great. What does it taste like? A bit like mango, like strawberry.
Some people say sometimes, yeah, strawberry, a little bit acidic. Sometimes also kind of banana, but like strawberry, banana, and some more like tangy acidity in there.
Strawberry and banana, definitely. Yeah, very good.
So,
also very beautiful, very colorful.
So here once again, Passiflora tucumanensis, you can see always the little flowers hanging down and then lots of small fruit. So the fruit normally when they are ripe, they are like a ping pong ball, not very big, but you have lots of them. So that's very good. And those are plants which were grown from seeds. So seedlings from this year. So in 1 year you can see it's already quite nice and big. Here once again that's another selection. So that's a Passiflora incarnata selection from Ukraine, which was selected in Ukraine, and it has, you can see, also nice big fruit. Those are not ripe yet because they still adhere. So we wait a little bit. Here all kinds of other hybrids. Some of them are more ornamental ones, like this one. There's a nice white, also tetraploid one called Snow Queen from England, and those are more ornamentals, but all are also hardy. So here we had already those little ones, and this is another cross of those little red ones. The one over there was with Foetida and Ciliata, so Ciliata is giving the red color to the fruit, and here it's Pentachista or Arida, so one which grows in dry regions. You can see it has a really like hairy leaves and everything. That's so it doesn't lose a lot of water, so it's really drought resistant. And when they are ripe, they are red, and the taste is like the other ones, but it's just like those ones are a little bit hairy. Just looking if I'm seeing more. Yeah, here are some which have fallen down or changed color. But yeah, the taste is also, so you can once again.
Thank you.
As those are first generation hybrids, they are not completely filled. In the next generation, I'm selecting for really filled big fruit. But as annuals, so you can grow them like cherry tomatoes or something. You sow them in spring. You have lots of flowers and fruit and.
What's the flavor?
Bit of cherry.
It reminds me a little bit of capers, or am I wrong? Can I just grab another one?
Yeah,
Thank you.
can find another one.
On the other side there are many, but here.
So all of those are individual plants. Some produce lots and some are completely sterile. So here are some. This is one. And here the flowers. So normally the flowers are open only in the morning when it's hot, so till midday, but when it's cool, like right now, they open the whole day. Also, the plants are called protocarnivorous because like with those they can catch really small flies and insects. So, but they can catch them, but nobody knows if they really digest or eat them. But it's kind of a cool feature.
So that's what the calyx is for. Well, they don't catch them for pollination, I guess, because the flower is because the stamens and the stigmata are on the other side of the flower. So,
yeah. So normally you have lots of bees if it's not raining and cold like now. So sometimes you see 3-4 bees, and so the bees, what they do for pollination, they go into the middle where there's the pollen, and then they go around here. They rub the pollen on their back, and then they get here to the anthers where they deposit the pollen, and then they go around here. So with their back they're transporting the pollen and then from one flower to the other. It works quite well. So a few other, so this is for example a hybrid between Passiflora tucumanensis, what we saw, the small hanging one from Argentina, and Passiflora incarnata. So combining like what we see from both species. Those here, you have some really nice flowers and fruit forming. So
oh yeah.
you see also like how big those are. So those are interesting hybrids between Passiflora edulis, so the supermarket passion fruit, Passiflora incarnata, the hardy one, and Termesina, another one from Brazil, which is kind of red. So this is where you have like this reddish part. And you see, this is a hybrid which is very fertile. You can see some of the fruits are quite big, but they are not ripe yet. So you can come back and see how they'll be when they are ripe. This is like a new generation of hybrids, which are both nice ornamental for the flowers, the nice leaves, and then lots of fruit also. Here we have some traditional hybrids. I'm getting some flowers which are called Xcolvili. So it's a hybrid which has been created like 200 years ago and has been redone a lot between the Caerulea, so the hardy blue one, and Incarnata from North America. As you can see, they can have lots of flowers and flower buds, but just only very few fruit. Normally they are sterile, but from time to time you can see you have some small fruit here with 1 or 2 seeds. So I use them to combine the good qualities of both species, and then I need a few generations to restore fertility, but it's possible. So that's Xcolvili. Here's some more lenses, and you can go a bit further. This here is maybe also an interesting one. That is Passiflora umbilicata. It's also from Argentina. The flowers stay open for 3 to 4 days. Normal passion flowers are open only for 1 day. Those ones 3 to 4 days. And they also produce tasty fruit. They are from the high altitudes in Argentina, so 3,500 meters. And you can see, like here, there's a fruit forming, a small one. So there were stamens, but it will take a few more months to ripen. Let's see if they will be ripened at time. And so I have lots of hope for this species for the future, creating new hybrids with it, but we'll see how it turns out. Yeah, on the other side also. So, in all of this is like Passiflora caerulea, so the blue passion flower. As you can see, I'm taking some fruit can be quite nice from the size, but they are not ripe yet. So they will turn yellow and then orange, and then they'll fall off when they are ripe. Maybe I can just here are different selections of Passiflora incarnata. Sometimes when you're seeing them like this, it doesn't look like there's a lot, but if you're looking then below, you see there are fruit and there are also some ripe fruit. So I already harvested quite a lot. So we are now the 22nd of September. So my earliest selections are ripe or starting to ripen end of August, and then they're going till frost. So here, and you can also see the color change. So when they are ripe, they are more yellowish, and then they will also shrivel. So if I take, they can also like really shrivel up like this. So they don't keep for very long if you keep them in the fridge like 10 days, but it's best to eat them immediately. If you wait, the acidity will go down and the taste will be more dull. So like if you want really nice tangy and aromatic flavor, the best is like when they just right from the vine. So if you want, you can.
You are doing some great work for mankind here. Like for decades I've thought we need at least one good edible temperate passion fruit, and you are creating so many different ones. Melon, muskmelon.
So every plant you'll find has a different flavor.
And also something different. There is definitely a lot of muskmelon in here. And some tropical fruit. Samartocarpus.
Yeah, maybe. So we'll go just over to see a little bit more.
Good stuff.
Okay. So everything you see here are seedlings from this year, and I planted them quite late. We had 2 heat waves of around 38 degrees, so they got some stress, but they're doing fine, as you can see. So some nice big flowers. And
those flowers which flower right now, will they ripen or
no.
is it too late?
So
okay.
Normally, if it's really hot, so if you have above 30 degrees, it takes like 45 days. You know, a good hot summer for us, it'll take like 60 days, but it can take way longer. So in general, after the 15th of August, nothing will ripen outside. If you have like a greenhouse, also a non-heated one, okay, you can go way farther, but right now this will be too late. Also something, normally most of them are not self-fertile, so you need 2 different clones if you want to be sure to have fruits. The best pollinators are carpenter bees, so the big Psilocopa, big black ones, but also bumblebees do the job.
So you need basically some old barn or old building with good timber around so that the carpenter bees will hang out.
Or something, but like they are coming more. But also bumblebees, they do it. Normal bees can do it, but sometimes they are too small. So it's better to have bumblebees or carpenter bees. But they are really effective. And then with nice plants like this. So
This is like one of my biggest dreams come true. We have good tasting passion fruits that you can cultivate in a temperate garden.
and you see some really nice big flowers. So I'm also selecting for nice flowers because I like fruit, but some people also like ornamental flowers, and as they are quite ornamental, I think they are really nice plants. Also for urban environments and everything else.
Yeah, for some reason, most breeders and collectors, they concentrate on flowers. I don't know why. Because the tasty ones also have good flowers. So
Yeah.
why not having both?
In general, it's easier to have flowers because many plants are hybrids, which are sterile to some point. So you have very few fruit, or when you have fruit, only with like 2 or 3 seeds. But so it's easier to make just flowers than else. So, for example, Passiflora. So those are once again Tucumanensis. Why do I have like here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ones? Always to select the biggest and the best. So I have labels for those that have like most fruit, biggest flower, best behavior, and then I select and then I recross the best one. So every generation I get a little bit better plants, so that at the end you have some really nice ones, which are both ornamental, nice fruit, and growing well without any problems. We had also some storms, so that's why it got. But those are also some of the Tetraploid hybrids. So you can see like really big flowers. It's like some of them are just like huge. And depending, like this one doesn't produce a lot of fruit, but when you're going a little bit over here, you can see, oh, okay, they also have really nice fruit. So this is something really interesting for us. And so this one has a label, the other one without fruit has no label. So this one will be selected, multiplied, retested, and then we continue with them. Here once again, some others of those small edible ones. Here the fruit and the plant. Yeah, you can eat them, of course, if you want.
Thank you. I'm like a kid in a candy factory. This is also a little bit like a muskmelon, but with a lot less of musky flavor. What do you think?
Definitely interesting, and it's interesting how different they really taste actually. It's very surprising.
Yeah, so many different flavors. Oh wow, can you do this again?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't.
So this is once again a seedling. Unfortunately, some of them are dying, but it's because I have mice, and the mice are sometimes eating the vines below, and so sometimes also the fruit. When the fruit are starting to ripen, they really like it, so they get in there. But you can see this is like 1-year-old seedling, and we have easily here 40 fruit on this plant. So they can be quite easily and fast productive. And then you start with good varieties. End of August, here there's some nice big fruit, and then you eat till first frost, and then you can still keep them a little bit. You can also make jelly out of it, wine, and other stuff. So it's quite nice.
No, I can eat such huge amounts of them. I don't need to make anything.
Out of them.
I can eat several kilograms a day. Don't worry.
Yeah. So this is like the most we can then see here. Here are some more of the smaller ones, and then I have more space up here. Hopefully next year I'll have the double of space for some new selections and some new plants and fruit out there.
So, do you already have selections which you are selling, like already fully developed commercial varieties?
So in the past I've been working for Lubera till December of last year, and so one selection which came from my breeding fields is like the cool tropics snow style, like the incarnata with white flowers. and they have selected, before I came to the company, another variety, which is the papaya. So those are two, if someone wants to start, which are interesting. Then I have a few which are in the pipeline, but they'll take 2 or 3 years till they are on the market. They'll be outside there and I'll tell you, but for now they are in development, because like I see the plant first here, then I say, okay, this is a good one, then we multiply it, we test it once again, and then if we say it's really good, then we have to multiply 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, so we can sell them to everybody who likes them.
That's amazing. Like, I always dreamed of something like this, and you are developing not one hardy passion fruit, you are developing many. Of course, you cannot say how many do you will have in 5 or 10 or 15 years.
No, so the idea is, of course, there will be already, like in 3 years, let's say 4 new varieties, and then afterwards every year 2 new varieties.
Wow.
And some varieties will be more for landscaping, so really big plants with lots of flowers. Some for home growth, some more compact ones with fruits. So I'm also selecting for self-fertile ones, so you need just one. Others will be for professional production, so there will be like shelf life or stuff like this, which will be more important. So there will be different lines in the same time, and so at the end everybody can have a huge choice of hardy passion fruit and hardy passion flowers for all circumstances and all climates, from Portugal to Estonia.
That's so nice. You are really doing a great service to Europeans and to a lot of other people too. From Portugal to Estonia sounds great. So that basically covers almost all of Europe. What about Finland? Do you think there will be varieties that can grow in Finland?
So here you can see mice that are also liking my fruit, so they already wait. So maybe to come back to the question, I have friends in Finland and they want to grow it. So in Finland, outside it will be hard, but if you have like a non-heated greenhouse in the southern part of Finland, yes. So I already have like friends in the Balticum, and they manage to grow a few. But in Finland, like northern Finland, I don't think that's going to happen. In southern Finland, you have a non-heated small greenhouse. I guess you can do something.
Amazing. Like until now, the traditional passion fruits you can grow them in warmer parts of the Mediterranean, but being able to grow them all the way to Estonia and probably southern Sweden and the British Isles, and so that's amazing.
Maybe something else. So this is a plant. It doesn't have flower or fruit right now because it's a small seedling. It's called Passiflora elegans and it's from Brazil. So most people think Brazil, it's not cold hardy, but there are mountains in southern Brazil, and this can withstand, let's say, -8 degrees. So it's not good for all parts, but like I planted one outside next to the Rhine River in a small village next to Wiesbaden 4 years ago, and it survives outside without any problems. So there are also some of this, and this produce like really tasty, nice, round yellow fruit. It's 100% self-fertile, and there's a lot of those. So this is another species, Passiflora elegans, I'm working with to make new selections which are a little bit hardier, than to cross them with other species to try to combine the different good traits in one plant.
That's great. So many different ones, and he'll be able to make so many different commercial varieties.
So something else, you can see the stones all around, because here the soil is really bad. I have like this of topsoil and then just stones. So when I plant them, it's really hard for them, it's dry, but that's also for me like a test. Some don't survive when there's a heat wave of 38 degrees, and others will thrive. So my goal is in the winter that they can withstand frost, in the summer that they can withstand heat waves, so that they are like really hardy and adapted to be grown outside even with climate change and everything, that's the weather is going to throw at them.
Do you need to water and fertilize them a lot?
That's a very good question. So ideally, if you want to have a good harvest, it's good if they get something to eat. So you need some fertilizer. However, so here I fertilize and I add plantation, but the soil around is really bad, so very low fertility. And then I water them also in the beginning, and then I stopped like beginning of August. And I had like of 450 plants, maybe 5 died, so that's not bad. You see some, they get defoliated from below, they lose leaves, but others, they don't care, they just stop. But if you want a really good harvest, it's better to have a fertile soil and have a water, because you won't get 100 fruit if you have no fertility and no water. So it's always, but they don't need so much water. And I'm also working like on drought tolerant cultivars. Like I said, those here, you don't need to water them whatsoever. They grow like in the Sonora Desert in Mexico without any problem. Here once again some Tucumanenses, which are growing some of the annual hybrids, and here with some nice red fruit. So I crossed the Fetida, they were really already self-fertile and quite tasty, the same with the Pentachista, but the Ciliata gave the red color. So I just thought like a really nice red color is quite attractive, so that's why I made those crosses to create those new varieties.
Muskmelon flavor again. I like muskmelons.
And also something else, so here this is garlic. I planted the garlic because there were also lots of mice, and where I have the garlic there are no more mice, so this helps against mice. Yeah, this is another, like just the flowers, some are quite big. Now
how many different like
plants
hybrids, clones and stuff do you have here?
For now I have like 450. The goal is for next year having 1,000.
Wow, I must come back here with the big spoon and the big knife and gobble up a couple kilograms.
So not all are good, so some, especially of the ornamental ones, some can be like a taste of burnt plastic, of garlic.
Yeah.
You can have like really ugly ones, but others are just like better than supermarket food, definitely. So I already made lots of the taste testing, asking people their opinion, and often like some of the newer hybrids are tested better than the supermarket food. So that's kind of really encouraging. And so I think it's for amateur growers it's great, but also for in the middle and long term, for small fruit growers, market gardeners, it can be a really nice niche, having 100 plants and selling them on the markets. There are already a few doing this, and I think this could be very interesting in the future. And I hope for all the vineyards that at least part of them can be replaced with passion fruit. I think this would be quite nice. The people working the vineyards maybe don't like it so much, but I think that could be a really nice thing.
Well, it's a big monoculture around here, vineyards, so diversifying this a little bit is a good idea, especially with passion fruits.
Yeah. So, do you have any other questions?
Well, I have two questions which are not exactly connected to your work. One is, last year I had two passion fruit planting experiments, like from commercial varieties. I think Passiflora Tween and also some other supplier. I planted a couple outdoors on a south-facing wall and a couple in a big greenhouse, and most died and the other ones didn't do really well. And you say here they don't really need too much fertilizer, they don't really need too much water. Do you have an idea what we could have done wrong?
So did you use like Passiflora incarnata or the commercial Passiflora edulis, like the
No. I think we had Aya Papaya. I think we had Fata Confetto. I think we had even Mollissima or something like that.
Yeah, Mollissima normally it won't do. That's normal. But like for the others, it's always difficult to say what's wrong if you're not there, if you don't see it. In general, if you want like good, it's still good to water a lot and give a lot of fertilizer. You don't want stagnant water, of course, like for most plants. So good drainage, and then normally they should grow well. Sometimes in the beginning it looks like they don't do a lot, but then when it's getting hot they should explode. Here also, like most plants are still a little bit small, but they were planted really late in the season, and they grew like those last 3-4 weeks, most of them. So sometimes it's just you have to wait, or sometimes also they putting the energy in the roots, because like incarnata is that's also something special. All the aerial parts will die down and it will regrow from its roots. So there's like really finger thick roots, and so sometimes it puts all the energy in making lots of roots first and then growing the other parts.
And the other thing is, last winter I was in Borneo, and there they have a lot of modern passion fruit varieties, and on them I saw a lot of crazy stuff, like seeds germinating inside the fruit, a tiny fruit forming inside the big fruit, 4 carpels and such stuff. I've never seen this anywhere in Europe or the Canaries or in a supermarket fruit. What's up with those Borneo fruits?
The problem, so with supermarket fruits, so I also go like regularly, for example, to Colombia, where they export a lot of passion fruit, and you see other stuff there, but the fruit that gets exported to Europe is like just a small tiny percentage, and it's really the quality has been looked after a lot, and it's just a few varieties and so on. So most that's out there you don't get here for different reasons, shelf life and whatever. So that's the first one. And as always, so people see like one variety and then they think it's like the whole diversity that's out there, but with apples, with figs and so on, there are hundreds of varieties, and there are all kinds of crazy things. So like fruits with 4 parts, I have this also regularly in incarnata, and it's because so normally you have like 3 of those female parts, and this one like here it has just 2. That's a deformation. Sometimes you have 3 mostly, sometimes also 4 or 5. So you can see it afterwards in the plant, and if it has like 4, it's more like square because it has like 4 quarters. But this is more like you have it like in incarnata, like with 15 to 20%. In edulis, so the normal supermarket fruit, it's lower. But in some varieties, it's quite high. So it depends a lot on this. But to make this question short, there's a lot of diversity out there that will never get it to your supermarket, just because the supermarket, they want one standard quality, everything looking the same, and good shelf life, low price, and they don't want any surprise.
Okay, so I'm going to Colombia. I need to go to Colombia.
So if you're in France, there's a supermarket where you have a little bit more diversity, Grand Frais. So anybody knowing it, so it's in general for fruit and vegetables. It's a big chain, but it has more variety in all kinds of fruit and vegetables than normal German supermarkets, for example. So, but still it's reduced. But if you're going like to the countries where you grow them, if it's Colombia or Ecuador or Peru, or if it's Brazil, you'll have way more diversity. So passion fruit are originally from South America, so there you have the genetic diversity. Like in Colombia, you have 200 different species of passion flower and passion fruit growing there, and you find them next to the road, like everywhere. So that's kind of interesting.
Going to Colombia. So amazing, folks. Like this guy is really making a dream of mine and a dream of mankind come true. Lots and lots of different varieties of hardy passion fruits you can grow throughout pretty much all of Europe. I'm really grateful to such people. There should be more such people. I really appreciate this work so much. So folks, this was Raphael Maier's breeding program for hardy passion fruits in France. Stay tuned for a lot new passion fruit varieties in all different shapes, colors and tastes in the next years. Yeah, ask everything you want to ask about those new passion fruits. Maybe we can answer some of the questions. Thumbs up to great people who really change the fruit landscape of the world literally by creating such crazy stuff former generations probably couldn't have dreamt about. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.